Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Steph and this is Ordinary Plant Girl. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video, and if you are returning, thank you so much for spending more of your time with me. So today I have a little bit of a sit down. I have found that I'm doing more of my videos in collections as opposed to plant tours. I do find a plant tour very long, very tedious to edit for me. So I have broken them down into genuses. Today, I have decided that I'm going to show you guys my Scindapsus collection because that is getting larger and larger by the month. So that is what we're going to do today. And if that is something you are interested in, please stick around. All right, so here we go. One thing I really love is trailing plants. I love trailing plants. Even with my Hoyas recently, if there are those of you that remember, I have taken most of my Hoyas off the trellises because I want them to trail. So today we're going to show you my Scindapsuses. Scindapsi. We're going to show you the Scindapsuses in my possession. To some there aren't many, but for me I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. There's one I forgot that's up there. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I am going to do what I usually do. I'm going to go from smallest to largest, and I think the smallest one that I have right now is this one right here, and this is my blue Scindapsus. Now, when I got this one, I got it as an unrooted cutting from a plant seller here in Canada through Facebook, and she had actually thrown it in with another purchase that I had made, kind of as just like an extra gift. So this one though took forever, I mean forever, like years. I had it in a little vial of water for over a year. It would not grow a root. The plant didn't decline, it didn't die, it had one leaf on it the entire time, and it just wouldn't root. I couldn't get it to root. I had it in moss, I think, in the beginning, and that wasn't doing anything, so then I put it in water, thinking that water propagation is always going to be your best bet, but in this case it really wasn't. It wasn't until I put it in a perlite prop box that's when it started to root. And now we are working on a fourth little leaf that is coming out there. And it's one of the cutest little things. And when I first got it, I wasn't exactly sure if a blue Scindapsus existed or if it was something else, but I have started seeing more of them with that name. So if that's what it is, that's what it is. And I held on, and I just held on for this so long. I almost gave up at one point and I was going to throw it out, and something told me just to try something else, so I did, and here we are. Now it's pushing out its fourth leaf. It still has that leaf that it had for that period of time. That's this one right here. That leaf has been here the entire time, and actually the year is on the back of it, and I got it June 17th of 2021. And over a year of that time it sat in water. I don't even think it's actually been in a mix too long, but this is a tree fern fiber soil mix. Mostly it's very, very airy, chunky. I just didn't want to damage this one anyway. So this one, number 1, is my blue Scindapsus. Okay. Now next, according to size, we've got is this one here, and this one is actually new to my collection. Okay, this one's kind of, we're going with this one. I've already kind of led into it, but this one is new to my collection. I've only had it a week, and I was very happy to get it. It was discounted as well from the shop that I got it from. So the first Wednesday of every month, they have Customer Appreciation Day, and you get an extra percentage off your plants. So this is my Scindapsus Silver Lady. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? It's the first time I actually saw one in person. So I'd seen pictures of them, and you know, I thought my Scindapsus collection is fine. I love the ones I have. I'm not looking for, there's one I'm looking for I'll probably never be able to find, but I was just like, meh, okay, it is what it is. But then I saw it in person. And once I saw it in person, and it was the day I didn't even realize that that was Customer Appreciation Day, but it was, and I was like, hi, okay, we are taking you home. So now with this one, we'll start the process of filling. I haven't changed it. It's still in the pot I got it in. I do have to say that this particular plant shop, I have had problems with mealybugs specifically. But I did treat this one. I quarantined it. I picked up 2 plants that day. I quarantined this one. I sprayed it down. I would like to take it out of its soil, but I think I'll wait a little while longer before I do that. As long as I don't see anything going on, then we're good. And I have seen nothing. And the leaves, just like any other Scindapsus, they are just thick and leathery, and I really like this one. I like this one more than I actually thought it would, but it is right up there with my exotica. So that is the Scindapsus Silver Lady. Okay. Now this one is my Scindapsus treubii dark form. Now this one too, I feel like most of my Scindapsuses have been a little bit of extra work to get them going, but I do have to say that it has been worth it once they start to grow, because this one, I cut this one into 3 one-node cuttings. When I got it, it was just 3 leaves, and it was unrooted. I honestly don't remember where I got it from though. I'm sure I have it written down somewhere, but anyway, this one also took forever to root. I don't know why. It wouldn't root in water. Put it in moss. It didn't want to root in moss. And it took a perlite prop box again, threw it in there, and now I've got those 3 cuttings. There's 3 cuttings in there. The only thing is that this one right here, this little tiny one, still gives me problems. We just had the problem of it not uptaking water, and that seems to be what it happens to it every single time. It just gets limp and dehydrated. It won't take up water. I'll throw it in moss, because now that it has roots, it's fine in moss. I'll put it in moss, put it in a prop box, perks back up. I put it back in soil, and it does it again. So I don't know if the roots are being suffocated down there. I hope not, because I have put it back in here now, and at this point, if it doesn't survive in here, it's either going to have to go in something on its own, or I'm just not going to worry about it, not going to fight with it anymore, because I do have all of this here and this, and I am so happy with it. But just the color of this, the sheer color of this is just amazing. So it was definitely one that I wanted to have, and it's starting to get long enough where at some point it's going to lean down and it's going to trail, and I can't wait for that. I might propagate just this one leaf, because it is just kind of standing up there waving hi to everybody. I might propagate this one so that I can put it back in the pot, but we won't talk about that now. That'll be another project down the road. But this is my Scindapsus treubii dark form. Okay. Next up, is just another one that was so much work. And that is my Scindapsus pictus exotica. Okay, so any of you that love the genus, Love this plant. This one for me, I got it August 12th of 2021, so I've had it just over 2 years. This one as well, I've said this repeatedly, I guess, but for those of you that don't know, I did get this and some Scindapsus Silver Splash cuttings, 2 of each, from an Etsy seller. When I got them, the leaves died off. All I had was 4 wet sticks. I put them in the prop box, but couldn't remember which ones were which. 3 of the wet sticks died off. Only this one remained. And it took a really long time for this one to grow enough to tell what it was, because this was the first leaf. Actually, I think this was the second leaf. This was the second leaf it came out with, where, you know, I started to think, okay, it's an exotica. I actually even threw it out on Instagram, and somebody came back and was like, that is an exotica. So I was really happy about it, because the Silver Splash was kind of just an extra that I was getting, but what I really wanted was this one, because they were so hard to find here at the time. You couldn't find an exotica. All you could find was an argyraeus. You couldn't find a silveran. You couldn't find an exotica. There was just so many things you couldn't find here. And this was one of them. So just over the course of this past summer, this one has started to grow quickly. And I do think it has something definitely to do with the placement. I do have a track lighting that all my Scindapsuses sit in front of on a shelf. And I believe that the amount of extra light that they're getting being up there has definitely contributed to this. This one as well is almost due to be propagated so that I can fill this, because I have been waiting so long to make this a full plant. So long. So the thing is that every time I even think about propagating it, it starts shooting out a new leaf, and then I won't cut it. Right? I'll wait until that leaf comes out. So this one is the newest leaf. It is still hardening off. It's almost there. And once it is, that's it, baby. Snip, snip. But this is my Scindapsus pictus exotica. Okay. This one I got as a cutting in a trade with somebody in one of my Facebook groups. This one has actually surprised me quite a bit. It has taken right off, and this is my Scindapsus pictus silveran. So I did a video a little while ago, and it was which is which, and it was trying to, not trying to, but pretty much telling you the differences between the argyraeus, not sure how you pronounce that, the silveran, and the exotica. So this one, again, just started off as a little cutting, took a long time to start growing, but once this one did, it just went absolutely nuts. And I have propagated this one a couple of times now, and created a fuller pot. That was just my goal for this summer. Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, you're wrapped up. My goal for this year was literally to chop, prop, and fill. That was it. With all of my Scindapsuses, I'm going to break that if I do that right now, so I'll do it later. But this is just one that has definitely shown how well it's done. Because now this started off as one cutting, now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 in here now. And we're getting a little tangled up. I'll have to detangle this later. But my OCD right now is like, no, let's just handle this right now, because it's bugging you. Oh, but I'm not going to. Okay, Scindapsus pictus silveran. All right. Now, oh, you know what? There's one I should have done before that, if we're going by size, but the size of the pot's bigger, so there we go. And that is my Scindapsus treubii moonlight. And this is definitely one of my favorites. This was given to me, oh, this vine is dying. This was given to me from a plant friend, and I've had this one a long time too. I think this was probably one of my first Scindapsus in my collection. But this one as well, I've only propagated it, I think I propagated it once. I took 2 cuttings. I planted the back, I have planted them back in here. But this one is just loving life, and I just love those leaves. I will never get over them. I hope that I have this one for a really long time, and this one can also be propagated. This one has, it took a while, and it was already in soil when I got it, but it was like anywhere I put it, it wasn't happy. It could have also been too, because I did put it in a larger pot. You have to wait for the roots to fill out the pot before the plant actually wants to grow. And that was a lesson that I'm technically still learning, because I will still put plants that I think will survive in larger pots when they don't necessarily need them. But this one just is gorgeous. And this vine right here has actually died off, so I will probably cut that, pop it in water, and see if I can save that one. But that is the Scindapsus treubii Moonlight. Look at that beauty. Now that brings me to the plant that I hunted for and looked for so long, because like the exotica, you could not find this plant here. It was so hard to find it, and I found somebody who gave me a cutting, and it was a rootless cutting, 1 leaf, and again, this one was work. I feel like that's just a common thing with these guys. For me, it was work, but it's so worth it. And that is my Jade Scindapsus. This plant was it for me. And I think the first one I saw that made me think I really want to have this plant was on Crazy Plant Guys. On one of his videos. It was pretty much in a lot of his videos because it sat in the background on his shelf. But that plant was everything. Absolutely everything. So when I finally found a cutting of it, I hoarded that like gold. It was just one of those things that I was like, I babied that, but it's the same thing, wouldn't grow roots. It was so incredibly hard to root. Now though, I can successfully root them in water, perlite. Actually, I had less luck with perlite, but perlite still works, and moss, as long as it's in a prop box. I took cuttings of this today, actually, and made a reel that I posted on Instagram. So there was so many cuttings that came off the vine that I cut, that when I plant them back in the top of this plant, the top of it, I think, will finally be full. Now, I can see, though, just by looking at this right here, and the plant has been watered, but this cutting right here is limp and does not look like it's taking up water. And I don't know why that is. I'm hoping it'll correct itself. If it doesn't, it's no biggie. I've got more cuttings that I'll be able to put in here. So I'm not overly perplexed about, does that even make sense? I'm not overly concerned with losing that one. But I do have 3 leaves on this plant that did kind of do this. And I don't know why. I think it might have been either a watering issue or possibly maybe it was fertilizer burn. I don't know. But they are pretty much on the first, oh, this one, it's on this 2 leaves on this one vine. This one's still in the dirt. So I could have, it's very possible that I over-fertilized this one because it hasn't spread since then. Like, it's been like this for a while. Even if you do look back at my Which is Which video, you'll see that it's the same. If it's traveled at all or spread, I haven't really noticed. I could cut them off, but then I'm gonna have a bare spot here, and I wasn't prepared for that. So they're just gonna have to stay there for now. But that is my Jade Scindapsus. Okay, so these last two are my bigger two, and it looks like I'm crushing a leaf. Hang on. Okay. So this one I haven't had in my possession for very long. I did get it this year. Late spring, early summer, I think. I've only had it a few months, but this is my Scindapsus Silver Splash. So I finally did get a Silver Splash. I did buy it bigger, that's for sure. It has grown quite a bit. I'm not sure, I probably should. I was gonna say I'm not sure if I was gonna chop, prop, and fill this one. But I think I actually could, because here along the back, there's still a lot of space. But it is trying to turn itself towards where the light is. So I don't know if it's gonna be beneficial to plant in the back here. I probably should, because it's one of the things I want, is just to make sure that I have a full pot. Actually, it needs to be watered. It's pretty light. But this has grown considerably in my care. So I'm glad it's happy, that's for sure. Now, because I bought it larger, I didn't have to worry about working for it. So the fight with these guys was real. The only one that I didn't have to fight with at all is the one that I'm gonna show you next. So this was my Scindapsus Silver Splash. This last one, by far, is the fastest growing of all of them. The most common one that you're going to be able to find. I'm pretty sure that you guys know exactly which one I'm talking about right now. And that is the Scindapsus pictus argyraeus. Somebody let me know how that's pronounced. But this here, oh, I can see a couple yellow leaves actually. But this one here has been the fastest growing. It's funny, it's acting like it needs water, but it is heavy. I do have a couple of cuttings back here that didn't seem to take very well. Those I'll take out and I'll cut off the yellow leaves, but this plant grows so fast. It grows fast in low light, in practically no light. It still grew faster than all of the other ones combined. The leaves on it right now all look pretty tiny. I don't know if that's something that I can help. I mean, I do know that this Scindapsus in particular does have smaller leaves than most of the other ones that you see here. But some of these look really small. But who knows, maybe they'll fill out, maybe they'll get better. This one is also tangled. I don't know why that is happening. I will have to untangle these later. Stop doing it now. But yeah, so this one I've had for a couple of years now, I think. I'm so bad with dates, I couldn't actually tell you. But I love it because it grows so fast. Now, because it grew so big, I had to repot it and move it from that shelf that it was on. So now this one and my Silver Splash do sit here in my plant room. They do have adequate lighting. I'm not worried about that, but they were just too big to fit on the shelf anymore that they were on. And it's gonna be really sad when I have to find places for all of those. It's getting to the point where I'm gonna have to start hanging them from the ceiling or something. I don't know. Maybe I can find a dedicated shelf for my Scindapsus. But yeah, this is my Scindapsus pictus argyraeus. So that brings me to the end of my Scindapsus collection. I will definitely keep you updated on how they do. If you do follow me on Instagram, you will be able to see their progress even faster, because that is where I'm going to be posting the majority of those updates. So that being said, I hope you were all safe and well. Please like and consider subscribing to my channel. Leave any comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.